What's going on, guys? Mikkel Bennett here today with my lovely wife,
Dominique Bennett.
and we are back with the Friends with Benefits podcast.
Yes.
And in today's episode, what we're going to be talking about is 3 reasons why your credit is in the tank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people like to blame other people for where their credit is, but in reality, there's a lot of things that we don't know and we need to become educated on. And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
And we're not sitting here to call you guys out, right? Because we've been in this position. A lot of these reasons that we're going to give, I mean, we're only giving 3 today, and there are many more, but we're just going to start off light with 3. But you are not alone, okay, in this. Like, we have been through bad credit,
Yes.
years of bad credit and not knowing what to do. So we're going to give you guys 3 reasons, and we really hope that they help you.
Right. So reason number 1 is that you ignore credit. You haven't taken the time to educate yourself on how it works, what actually makes your score go up and down, what actually makes up your credit profile and your credit score. Most people don't know this.
Yeah. And none of this stuff is taught in school, so the only way that you're going to learn is from somebody else. And if your parents, like a lot of our parents, like don't have great credit, like they might think that they do, but they really don't, and they don't understand what makes up your credit profile. Like if I was to go and ask my dad what makes up your credit profile, he wouldn't have any idea.
Right.
Like he would know a couple things, but he wouldn't be able to break it down and actually know it to a science like we do.
And I get tons of DMs and messages and comments where people are like, how fast will my credit score go up?
Right.
The thing is, your credit score and your credit profile is made up out of 5 different factors, right? And in those 5 different factors, there's things that you can do to manipulate each one of those factors. And every time you manipulate any of those factors, your score is going to either go up or go down based upon what happened.
Right.
So when somebody asks me a question like that, I already understand that they're a bit ignorant when it comes to credit, because, if you understand credit, you will understand that there's things that you can do today that'll have your score go up. Or there's things that you can do today that'll have your scores go down tomorrow or today.
Right.
So it really doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. What matters is that you understand everything about credit and how it works so that you can manipulate it for your benefit and not have it just hurting you all the time and you not understand why it's hurting you. You just see that it is.
Right. And, one of the major things that really affects your credit are late payments and things like that, right? And let's talk about COVID. Like COVID happened and a lot of people fell behind, right? Like a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people, lost their jobs, or a lot of people had to go deal with sick family members, or a lot of people were working from home and, things get in the way. A lot of people were teaching their kids while they were working from home, and things happen, unfortunately. So I think more now than ever, people are suffering from late payments from, a year ago, a year and a half ago, and they're still affecting them today. Because had they known that you could simply call the creditor directly, right, and resolve it with them at that time, they wouldn't be suffering today,
right,
with those late payments, right? So here's the thing, here's a play. So if you want to remove a late payment, the first thing that I always suggest is to pick up the phone and call the creditor directly. And that means the credit card company, the bank, whoever the loan is through, or whoever the credit card is through. You want to pick up the phone and call them. Let them know your story. Maybe COVID wasn't affecting you. Maybe that wasn't the reason why. Maybe you just forgot and didn't pay. You can let them know that, or you can let them know a story, right? Because people connect with people. And the more that you can build a relationship with somebody, because you can build a relationship with somebody in the first, 30 seconds on the phone with them, because however your energy is on the phone, they're going to feed off of that energy.
Right.
Coming from a retail background, whenever we would get on the phone, we were always told to smile while you're talking on the phone, because people can feel that smile when you're talking on the phone. So if you're smiling and you're like, hi, my name is Dominique, and I'm really excited because I'm buying my first home, and I pulled up my credit report and I noticed that there were some late payments on there, and they're really hurting my credit score. And I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to get approved. And I'm really trying to make a better life for my kids. And, this is a really great opportunity. And I'm just wondering if there was any way that you could help me out by removing these late payments. I'm even willing to set my payments up on auto pay, because you can see I've never been late before or currently, is there anything that you can do to help me? So if you call them and say, hey, looking at my bill here, and I see that I have some late payments in the past. What can we do about that? Completely different conversation. You know what I mean? Completely different vibe. So really take that into consideration, because you can build a relationship on the phone and get what you're asking for if you're just nice and relatable on the phone.
Mhm. So the first thing is stop ignoring your credit, guys. Okay. Take it serious. Start looking at it, understand how it works. And when you start looking at it and taking it serious, you're going to start seeing the results that you want. Intentionality. Just be intentional about it. Okay.
Yep.
So the second thing is you thought it was free money. Right. And I'll let Dominique cover this one, because this was her joint.
Yeah, this was me. I thought it was free money. Literally turned 18. What did I do? I got a credit card and I got a tattoo. Literally, like, those are the things I did. I filled out my first credit card application with Capital One. I remember getting my card, it had a ladybug on it. I don't know if anybody else has ever had that credit card. You were able to actually pick what the credit card looked like at the time. And I was so excited. It was a $300 limit, like, ooh, but to me, it was free money, right? So I used it like it was cash, and I would pay the minimum payment. I wouldn't pay it back. And then eventually I just let it go after a while, because I just thought it was free money. I knew I had a bill and I knew I was supposed to pay it back, but I didn't care.
Right, when you're not looking at your credit report, it doesn't matter. Like it wouldn't matter. And that was the same thing that I was going through. Like, I thought it was free money. I straight up thought it was free money. I mean, I figured I could pay it back when I feel like, don't pay it back if I don't feel like it, and it wouldn't matter. But lo and behold, years later, when I realized, wait, we have a credit score and a credit report, and everything that we've done is being reported on here. Yes. So it's not free money, and you shouldn't take your money to go and buy leisure and, vacation and Louis Vuitton and all. Should use that credit to invest into other things that are going to start making you more money, so that you can get your time back, right? Most people are trading their time for money. But guess what? Credit is the easiest gateway for you to stop trading your time for money and start making your money or other people's money work for you.
One of the things that you can use your credit for is to start a business. Use the money from that card to purchase your articles of incorporation with your state. They ask for a credit card number at the checkout. So you can use your credit card to start your business.
There you go.
And that would be a smart thing to do. You could buy a couple businesses if you wanted to. And it doesn't mean that you need to have the idea or, like this goal in mind, but you can definitely start them and not have to actually start the business and begin making money with the business right away. So that's definitely a really smart move to make with your money, with your credit, like when you get your first credit card. And something else that you can do too is you can purchase things that will make you money. So it's not just businesses. You can invest into things like vending machines or an ATM, and I know that we're saying like this is what you use your personal credit for, and that's just until you can get business credit, because once you can get business credit, it's a whole other world out there.
So one of the things that I wanted to say was, it's get your LLC or your business early.
Yes.
Even before you know exactly what you want to do. And that's why it's important that when you create your business, it's best to just create it under the consulting, like under a consulting name, right? Because it's general, you're not going to have any problem when it comes time for you to get funding. But the beauty of this is, while you're so the first thing you should work on is your mind and understanding your mind. So while you're working on your mind, while you're working on your credit, and you're working on figuring out your finances and figuring out what you want to do, you let your LLC season, right? Because when this comes time for you to go and get your business credit, your LLC is going to actually have age. It's not like you just opened it up last week or last month. So that's why I tell people to just take that first line of credit you get, that first large line of credit you get, open your LLC and just let it sit.
Right.
And then do the rest.
And even if you're in a position now where like, okay, so let's fast forward a few years and my credit's not good, I can still go and buy a business and invest money into a business. And like Mikhail said, work on my credit then at that point, because you don't need good credit to start a business. Right. You don't. You just need to have the money to pay for it. And in Pennsylvania, it's $125. And that's the other thing I wanted to say too, to start a business, you can do it yourself. You don't need to pay LegalZoom or these other programs that are out there or pay other people to do it for you. You can literally, like, you have the power to do it yourself. It's very, very simple. You just need the steps. That's really all that you need.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the third reason why your credit is in the tank is because maybe you have fraud on your credit report.
Yeah.
And fraud is one of the biggest crimes in the world, right? There's so much fraud. Look at Instagram, how much fraud there is on Instagram. Like, it's just crazy, right? But not only just random fraud, you could have fraud from people in your own family.
Yeah.
I've seen this, right?
You hear that all the time.
People's moms, dads, uncles took their identity and applied for things in their name, right?
Even, you know, and even too, like, besides like that, there is also where maybe a parent is in a situation where they're like, hey, like, I really need for you to co-sign on this apartment for me because I'm in a situation and we need a place to live because we're a family. So I need for you to co-sign on this. So even though it's not fraud, it kind of is fraudulent at the same time, because you're being coerced into doing this because, you know, it's your family and you need to take care of them, you know? So there's a lot of situations like that where people are like put in vulnerable positions where they're having to sign their name off and put their credit up for something that isn't even theirs or their decision in the end, you know?
I mean, there could just be like somebody who had a similar name to you, and now whatever they have is reporting in their credit report. So these are the three reasons why so many people in our country's credit is in the tank, guys, right? And our mission is to give back to those people, because just like you right now watching this video or listening to this audio, this was us 3 years ago. Listening to different people who had a successful credit journey, and we just wanted to get there, right? But the main thing was we needed to start. We needed to start, right?
That's the hardest part for some people.
And we needed a place, like, so because I so vividly remember what it felt like to start. When we create our courses and we create our programs, we try to make sure that we include everything for somebody who's just a beginner. They don't know anything about credit. Where do I start with? How do I read a credit report? Like, how do I tell what's good, what's bad?
We literally start with the mindset behind credit.
You
know, like, you literally have to start at square one. And I tell everybody that purchases our credit essentials bundle, I'm like, when you get into that, you need to go in the Magic Eraser course, and you need to start off with video number 1 and take your time and go through it. Yeah, I understand you have inquiries you need to remove. Yeah, I understand that you have collections that you need to remove. But you need to start at square one. Start at video 1, work your way through it. And I've seen so many people that have success of the people that go through it
all the way
and rewatch things over and over. And I had somebody in my inbox say, you were so right when you said you got to rewatch some things too for it to make sense. You got to watch the video again. Like, this stuff is not easy, but once you get it, you get it. It's common sense. Like, it really makes so much sense once you actually get it. And there's nobody that can break it down better than we can.
And for you guys out there who have ambitions of getting business credit, right? I remember thinking, like, damn, will I ever get to the point where I'll be able to get business credit? You will get to that point, but it is a journey. There's steps that you need to take. And think about it. If you don't understand credit fully, but you want to get funding, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Why would a lender give money to you when essentially you're being irresponsible?
You can't prove that they can take a risk with you. You have no proof of you being a good borrower. And that's what banks look for. And your credit report is so think of it as your resume for a job, right? You go for a job interview, you bring your resume with you because you want to show them that you have experience and, you know, you're trustworthy and here are my references and things like that. That's what your credit report is. When you go to apply for a loan, when you go to apply for a car loan, a credit card, you know, anything, even apartments, they're going to look at that because they're going to say, even jobs, there's some job. I remember when my credit wasn't good, I applied for it at a bank and they pulled my credit and I didn't get the job because my credit wasn't good.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So and that was very embarrassing for me. But what my point is that your credit profile, your credit scores are your history. It's your resume of
so
how
important.
you are in when it comes to borrowing and paying back money to people,
Mhm.
you know?
Right. So what we want you to do is, if you're somebody who's ready to get on their credit journey, may it be personal credit, business credit, check out the links in the description of this video. Check out our Instagram page, because we believe that the proof is in the results.
Yeah.
Every single day, there's dozens and dozens of people who are, shouting from the top of their lungs that they gotten results. They were able to remove collections, able to remove inquiries, able to increase their score, able to get approved for business credit, able to get approved for high limit personal credit, car loans, homes, like
you
name it.
We're
removing repos.
We're literally giving you guys the blueprint to begin to change your life forever, and to begin to change it for good. Because here's the thing, like, once you understand this knowledge that we're giving you, it's going to change your life, and nobody's going to be able to take it away from you. And you're going to know it for the rest of your life. And you're going to make better decisions. You're going to make better financial choices. And you're just going to set up a much better future for your family, especially if you have kids. Because listen, like I said from the very beginning, you only know so much about credit as other people have told you, right? So if you're a parent that comes from a family that didn't know about credit and you had to figure it out yourself, now you have that knowledge because you went through our training, you figured it out. How do you think your kids' credit's going to be?
Amazing.
Yeah, like,
immaculate.
You always want your kids to have a better life than you did. So no problem in starting today. Even if your credit's good, but you can't explain it to your kids, you can buy our course still and learn it, and learn how to break it down to your kids. Because I'm telling you, kids are smart, man. Our 9-year-old understands credit because he hears us talk about it. So like, it literally can be broken down for anybody at any age.
Right. So we're here to help you walk on this credit journey.
Yes.
My name is Mikkel Bennett.
I'm Dominique Bennett.
We're your friends with benefits, and we're out. We'll see you guys in the next episode.